Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. As you can see today I'm gonna play Demonology Warlock in PvP for the first time on this channel. I had a little bit wrong thoughts when it comes to this spec till now. It surely has flaws, but on the other side it also has much more positive things than I thought. Overall spec has some huge burst potential which doesn't come from Pyroblast as everyone thinks. I will provide you my talents and gear I've been using for this video, and keep in mind that this isn't guide or something like that. It's just the way I play the spec for the first time, and I will explain why. I'm using exactly the same build I used for my Affliction Warlock, one of my last videos with small change on my back enchant. I switched spell penetration for tailoring 300 spell power proc for bonus burst with Metamorphosis opener. What I just realized is that I could maybe play full critical strike instead of haste, because I didn't take some glyphs and talents, which I will explain later. However, haste is not a waste in any case for Demonology Warlock, and what a rhyme that was. There is no standard Demonology build because I think there is more than one way of playing this pack. I've chosen this type of talents because it seemed to me like it would work the best with gear I have and the season I'm playing in. Upper part of talents is more or less standard, but in other part you need to spread points between demonic resilience, dissemination and improved demonic tactics. I've chosen demonic resilience for 2% more of being struck by critical hits, which stacks with 11% I got from my resilience and 6% more from metamorphosis, which in general decreases chance of your enemies to hit a critical on you by almost 20% while in metamorphosis. What I just mentioned in gear part about critical strikes instead of haste makes even more sense because I would definitely drop these 2 points and put them in improved demonic tactics so my pet can inherit more critical and would definitely be better solution. Build which depends on pet damage and critical should definitely have 5 out of 5 demonic tactics and 3 out of 3 on improved demonic tactics. You will need to drop intensity from destruction tree, which will give you very hard time casting any spell. But if you want to keep intensity talent, you might drop nemesis points and have much more higher cooldowns on metamorphosis, which can be frustrating because you're almost useless without your main spell. So I wouldn't recommend that. And the last one is Dissemination. It reduces your Pyroblast cast by 40% if you hit your target Shadow Bolt or Incinerate while they're under 35% health. I didn't take this talent because first thing you depend on is Molten Core proc. If it procs, you can make your Incinerate 1.5 for 6 cast time, which is fairly okay to use to proc Dissemination. But on Molten Core you have just 12% chance and it needs to happen in certain time, while target is below 35% health. On top of that, if you get Silence, Interrupted Kicked, this talent becomes pure waste. Other way of proccing Dissemination is having a Glyph of Corruption and pray to get a instant Shadow Bolt proc. Chance to gain proc is just 4% if you're facing one target, and there is even a less chance to get the proc when you need it while target is under 35% health. So if you think this talent is worth, go on and take it. Talent is good, but it depends a lot on procs, which is tricky thing in PvP. As I mentioned, distraction talents are mostly used to remove pushback suffering, while casting Incinerate and Immolation, which are your main spells. The glyphs are not standard either. I'm using Glyph for Shadow Flame because I just love the pressure it puts on both melee and caster enemies, because you and your pet needs to be close to the target all the time. Next one is Glyph of Fell God. Pet is dealing some massive damage, and I found this glyph better choice for my video than for example Glyph of Corruption. I'm using Fell God all the time against melee and casters, so I don't see a reason for not taking this one. And the last one is Glyph of Metamorphosis to increase its duration for another 6 seconds. I just like the bonuses I got from Ultimate build. All of these 3 can be replaced or combined with some other glyphs like Glyph of Corruption, Glyph of Quick Decay, or even Soul Link if you're trying to be tanky truck. I'm starting with a random video because I got a lot of footage. Warriors are surely the easiest opponents you can face as Demonology. Your stun from pets should be enough to cast Immolate. Then he charges and you simply use Shadow Flame to slow him down and try to force a rage with the Fear. Ability that tears everyone apart in close range is Immolation Aura, which deal just insanely huge damage. That hard you can kill rogues with only that AoE. You can see a cool example of charge plus simulate. If you think is that he's dead meat because you're free to fear or coil him. I'm killing random warriors without Metamorphosis, but as soon as I see two melee attack me at the same time, I burn them down really quickly with Immolation Aura. You should always try to keep corruption on all possible targets around you. As Curse I'm using Curse of Agony in most cases, and Curse of Tanks for some casters. Now I just want you to watch what damage I'm really talking about. I should use here Shadow Flame instead of Horror, I wouldn't be interrupted, and I will make more room for kiting and maybe set corruption on other targets. I would probably kill all three here because druids were mostly PvE as I see. About DKs, they are impossible to beat. I would be very ashamed if I was blood around Holy DK and lose to a Demon Warlock. All DK have to do is to survive opening burst with some type of defensive spell and use that dead strikes. There's literally no way to beat a good DK. What I concluded is to use charge and fear so you can most likely force Lichborn at the beginning. Would be also nice if it's possible to Shadow Flame and Corrupt before AMS, which can be done with another charge from your pet. So it's very important to set your pet on stay and wait for perfect timing for charge. I used Coil on his Lichborn to force a trinket and prepare for fear when I got chance to do. As soon as he called Gargoyle, I used Curse of Tongues on him to increase its casting time. It's also important to use Coil as a healing ability, not just to force trinket. And use your health stone for that duration of Lichborn and AMS. If he sacrificed his pet here, I would simply use 2 or 3 fake casts and fear him, which is GG. This is full Furious Blood DK that is almost always first on Battlegrounds. Honestly, we fight a couple of times and he won every time. I had one fight that was insanely close of killing him and he used every single cooldown he had, unlike now when he clearly didn't have Lichborn and Icebound. But pity I deleted this scene because I didn't win. Still he had used Hysteria, Dancing Rune Weapon and Mark of Blood in this fight, and his counter with better gear. I also just saw that I didn't even use Immolation Aura here, which is a huge handicap. I don't know how it happened, but probably because I was focused on setting up all dots and forcing fear spams. 2 minutes ago, 2 rogues ambushed me here, so I was prepared to use Metamorphosis. Keep in mind that you get 30k armor, which is around 50% reduced physical damage, 50% reduced stun effects, and much less chance to get a critical hit. You can see how I dismounted to keep my pet to stay behind me so he can charge while I'm stunned. Also, I was spamming meta as soon as I get first damage. Also, I would maybe even use Trinket on Cheap Shot and use meta because every next stun would be decreased and under diminishing returns. As you can see, Immolation Aura and Shadow Flame are the first thing you want to do against rogues. First rogue was literally melted in 3 to 4 seconds, and I just checked he's the same gear as me. Other one who re-stealthed is on same eye level of items, but mainly PvE, which is not bad for rogue, but they were obviously shocked by the damage and nearly no one expected that. I knew that one rogue survived and he waited for my Metamorphosis to end. I again put my pet far away so he can charge and interrupt his opener. I'm very sad I couldn't find more casters to face isolated on Battlegrounds. Trust me, no one killed me in 1 vs 1 fights. I played more than 30-40 hours and just this type of gameplay where I isolate myself. I always open with my charge and you should go for instant fear to force early trinket or ice block while stun lasts, not any other spell. I started casting fear and I hesitated using another charge from pet and I was short with time because of that, and I ate a counter spell. However, it's not the end of the roll, you can still cast Immolate and Incinerate. After the lock ends on Shadow Skull, just start spamming fear with Immolation Aura on and follow your enemy. If your pet gets slowed or snared, just use Demonic Empowerment. Trust me, his attacks are very heavy on cloth enemies, it's very frustrating for them. I started casting fear because I was expecting to use my pet charge at the same time so I don't get counterspelled, but he was too near. So this is a Shadow Priest 4.5k Gearscore and 1.8k rated at this moment. Shadow Priest shouldn't lose to Demo Warlock, never ever. You will see now this humiliation. Just use Immolation Aura and Demon Empowerment and wait to Trinket first fear. My Molten Core procced and I just standing there and cast it. And this is the moment I failed. I hardly wanted to cast a Fell Hunter to use a silence on his heal, but I changed minds for my Demonology Warlock and summoned a Void Wolf. Even with him I would still win, but half of his team appeared.
That it's too late for us now. Why do we stay when I blame you for the things that weigh me down? 'Cause in the echo of your silence I only hear what's best for me. Yeah, in the echo of your silence I'm thinking more of her. She who wants to study your body, who gets the better version of you. I need the better, better truth. I need the better version of you. I need the better version of you. that girl you're texting when I look away. 'Cause in the echo of your silence